Welcome, welcome, boys. Final day of Funfest, Effingham 2023. This comes after the video I shot yesterday, and it was an overcast, which would have made better lighting here until just a second ago. But of course, the second I decide to press the record button, the sun comes out, just like yesterday. So, whatever, we're rolling with it. So Mike did make his announcement today, and as I had suspected, this is the last year of Funfest as we know it. He's going to have what's known as, I guess what he's calling a Super Saturday, which will be one day now. So Saturday each year. Which means I won't be attending anymore. Of course, I kind of suspected that because we had previously asked Lori, his wife, about the future of Funfest and the Beetlefest when we went to the Beetlefest early in the year. It's a nice vet right there. Should look familiar to you boys. And as I mentioned yesterday, there are a lot more vets here today, but still a shadow of his former self, whereas his damn near 95 acres used to be completely full. Because, as he said, he does have 95 acres. He is selling some, as he doesn't use as much anymore, which we can all see. Like I mentioned when I first started coming here, he had the manufacturing here. He had a lot of employees. You could walk through the warehouse. You know, no footage of that exists. I didn't record any of that stuff back in the day, but you could walk through. He had the on-site manufacturing. He had ladies making the carpet for the interiors of the vehicles. You can still order that stuff, but through a supplier now. And I assume he also had them making it for the VWs, not just the vets. But now that he's downsized, I'm guessing during the coup when the government forced everybody to shut all their businesses down to kill them all. You know, he had employees there that left and never came back. So I reckon them not coming back caused them to have to downsize, and then of course fewer people show to the vet show because boomers be dying. Some bomb-ass Dakota over there, though. Look at that Dakota. Nice. So, I guess we'll walk through here again while I ramble on about some more stuff that I may have glossed over yesterday or forgot to mention. And so we'll start with my plans then. So, Beetlefest, that still continues to be a multi-day thing. I'll still show up for it. Corvette one now I know is only going to be one day, on Saturday. I probably won't go to it because every year that I've gone to this, I have missed Arnold days. In fact, today, my sister's there, Griffin's there, Steve's there. Steve rode the bike. Griffin drove Hudson's Beetle, because Hudson can't drive her own Beetle yet. And I have never been able to go, because every year Arnold Days is always the same weekend that this Funfest is. But now that I don't have to go, it's only going to be one day here, then I might as well just go to Arnold Days. You know, Beetlefest, I'm not sure if that happens during something. I feel like it does. I feel like there is something else that happens that weekend as well. Maybe like a Festus Cruise or something. But that's okay, we have a road tour here. Oh, that reminds me, so yesterday, when we all left for, and I knew this was going to happen. And so here's what happened. The road tour is the exact same route that the Beetlefest tour is. So, okay, great. Or, I assume that. Because, why would you have a tour that runs a little road tour that runs to downtown Effingham and have it go 2 different directions. You wouldn't. It's the same way, right? So what happened yesterday is I had forgotten, because I had picked up all my goodie bag with the map and everything in it. I had already picked that up on Thursday when we got here. So Friday, which was yesterday, day of the road tour, I didn't have it with me. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my map. So Katie can't study it and direct me while I'm in the road tour. I'm like, well, that's okay. Surely the people I'm going to be behind will know where they're going, and I'll just follow them. And so as we take off, we're getting separated from the main group because these Corvette drivers are not as good as the VW people when it comes to keeping with the crowd, I guess. Like, they don't know how parades work, where the gaps are the enemy, and you need to be right up on the other guy in front of you's bumper. That way you can essentially bull your way through any intersection and not get separated. Because if you get a normie car and they're separating you, they're driving their normie car slow, you're getting behind, they're going in a different direction, you don't see where your main group goes, and then now everybody's lost. And that's exactly what happened. But as I'm driving, I'm familiar, because it was only a few months ago that we did the VW one. So I remember I'm like, okay, I know we turn right here. And now I remember, because last year during the VW one, there was a car crash. A guy crashed into the cop car, and we all had to turn left up ahead. And I remember you got to be in the left lane to make your left turn. And, so I'm remembering all this. And as I'm driving down the road, I'm following the other vets, but we pass the intersection where we're supposed to turn left at. I go, shouldn't we have turned left there? And I'm thinking, well, maybe the route's different. I actually didn't study it, so I can't confirm. I go, so since I didn't study it, I'm just going to have to assume that this route's different than it was for the VW one. So I keep following the guys in front. There's like 5 vets in front. We don't see any other ones, but that's okay, because we got separated because they suck at maintaining close proximity to the guy in front of them. So there's a big, separation. So we're going, and then the guy leading our little 5 groups of vet, they bust a mean right into a parking lot, and I'm like, this is not where we're supposed to go. And then he turns around, busts 180, and starts driving back the way he came. He's like, oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. It's like, oh, great. So then he drives down the road, and then he turns right. Now he turns right, which is where we were supposed to turn left earlier. So we're driving down, and we come to a 4-way, and I can see there's vets ahead of us, like opposing us in traffic. So they're coming towards us. And then our leader turns right, and I'm like, why is he turning right? If these guys are opposing us, that means they went that direction, and now they're turning around. And I do remember from the VW show, you drive along a lake, you come to like a little park recreational area, you turn around there, and then you drive back the way you came until you get to downtown Effingham. I'm like, well, again, I didn't study the map, so for all I know, this is the way we're supposed to go, and the tour is just a different direction than it was during the VW show. I don't know this person. And so we follow them. They take us on these back roads through the cornfields. And of course now none of this looks familiar to me. And I'm like, none of this looks familiar to me, but to be fair, the corn was very short a few months ago, and now it's really tall and ready to be harvested. So, I can't go by just what everything looked like. But I'm pretty sure we're going the wrong way. So I'm like, you know what, at this point, we're just going back to the hotel. And then we can just go watch the Equalizer 3. Which is what we ended up doing. We never made it to downtown Effingham because playing follow the leader was a bad idea. Took us the wrong way. So we went the wrong way. Eventually went back to where we were supposed to go, i.e. the hotel. Went there, chilled, and then went and watched Equalizer 3. And then because for some reason, TGI Fridays, the place with Friday in the name closes at 9 on a Friday instead of, 10 or 11 like a normal place. So we had to go to Chili's to eat instead, even though I've made it a tradition. It's a tradition at this point that every every Funfest I eat on Fridays. Sometimes on Thursday night, but sometimes on the Friday night after the road tour. Never on the Saturday night though. So because we didn't, I had considered just eating there tonight. But we already bought the tickets for the little country buffet. Well, it's not really a buffet, I guess country dinner tonight with the fried chicken and all the good stuff. But I just ate it a few months ago at the V-Dub show, so I didn't really need it. But that's okay. I guess what we'll do is, since I already have the tickets, I'll just eat that. And then next year during the V-Dub show, I won't get the buffet. I'll either dip right then and then eat something else, or I'll make it a point to go to TGI Fridays that night, Saturday night. This is the Magnolia Vet. I haven't seen him lately, but he was one of the ones I remembered always parking next to in years past at the here at Funfest, that Magnolia looking Corvette. There's another C3 that's real unique looking. He's got these mean louvers in the back. Like, he's like, I say I'm the president and CEO of the Louver Club of America, but that guy's louvers got me beat. But I haven't seen him in a few years, and that was back when we used to park way over yonder, way on the other side of the install dome, back when the show was that big. Because like I had mentioned in the other video, this whole field used to be where all the VIPs would park. Essentially all the old people that bought the beastly tickets for their awesome parking and for their, I guess, just oldness. I guess the early birds, if you will. Because I always come at the same time every year. This lot was always full. And today you saw where I am, several rows back from where I was yesterday, coming at the same time. And the first day I was like the second row. Yesterday I was this row. And now I'm way the hell over there. But in many years past, I was, like I mentioned, in that little, where I cut in right before the road tour yesterday, way the hell in the back in that other field.
Oh, yeah?
So that's just to give a perspective of how much smaller this show is now than it used to be. And now, per Mike, it's going to be even smaller coming next year, because it's only going to be one day. And I feel like you'll get maybe just this type of group, or shorter, smaller. Because I'm sure there's people that were here yesterday and the day before that aren't here today, even though there's a whole bunch of new people that are showing up today, like the Magnolia Vet. He wasn't here last couple days. He showed up today. But in years past, he's been here all the time, all 3 days. So, yeah, that's it. We're on the final stretch here. This video is going to be shorter than it was yesterday, where I was gassing on forever. So, just a little update then. Last year of Funfest, as it's been known, because as he says, it's 50 years of Mid America Motorworks. He's been in business 50 years. He's had this Funfest thing going for 30. This is the 30th year. And then Corvettes themselves, this is their 70th year. And in fact, that's what his pin says on it. Celebrating the milestones. 30 years of Funfest, 50 years of Motorworks, 70 years of Corvettes. That's the 2023 pin. So this will be my final pin for Funfest, for the Corvettes anyway. Because he made no such announcement about the VW stuff, and there's not a lot of bleed over. This is a wrap right here on this vet with that dog. But so the V-Dub, that's still going to be on as long as it's more than one day. Vet stuff, nah, I'll just do Arnold days from now on. Might as well, since I'm the only one of the group, my sister, and then they go out to these car shows that actually even has a Corvette. So it is kind of lonely out here. It's just me and Katie. Carter doesn't come out here anymore. Getting rid of all his vets. So, alright. We're going to cut the video off here. Catch you in the next one when we do some actual automotive repair. Whatever we got going on. Probably more Dakota stuff. So I'll catch you then. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.